First of all, let me start by saying I'm very delighted and honored to be invited to give this address at this year's Mtln conference, an event that we all at NSML are proud to associate with. Let me also seize this opportunity to congratulate the leadership of the association for once again successfully organizing this event, which is aimed at providing a platform to explore and discuss pertinent and germane issues affecting the maritime industry locally and internationally. We in NSML are indeed proud to be part of such a noble endeavor. This is in line with our vision of supporting the growth and development of the Nigerian maritime industry. The theme of this year's conference, which focuses on the key role of finance and insurance in the maritime industry, especially on how they impact vessel acquisition and construction, is quite apt and pertinent, especially with the increased focus on deepening the contribution of the marine and blue economy to economic growth of Nigeria. Vessel ownership and acquisition occurs within two segments of the shipping industry. One, the sale and purchase of second-hand vessels, and two, the design and building of new vessels. Irrespective of the market owners play in, the importance and role of finance cannot be overemphasized. According to Petrofin Index for Global Ship Finance, the top 40 banks lending to shipping in 2023 was $284.27 billion, while the total bank lending of all banks, including local banks, approached $375 billion in 2023. When you look at it from the entire figure, the indicative figure for global ship finance, including all forms of lending, leasing, export finance, and alternative providers, is approximately $600 billion US dollars in 2023. These amounts are huge and significant and underscore the key role of financial institutions, including insurance institutions, in the acquisition, construction, and operations of vessels globally. Whilst the focus of this conference is centered on financing and insurance in vessel acquisition and construction, which are undeniably critical components in the maritime industry, it is imperative to equally examine the indispensable role of regulations, standards, and competence in this multifaceted process. These elements form an integral part of ship and vessel acquisition process. The shipping and maritime industry is highly regulated, with great emphasis on safety, reliability, and environmental sustainability. Compliance with conventions, regulations, and guidelines primarily issued by the International Maritime Organization, such as the IMO SOLAS Safety of Life and Sea Convention, MAPOL, which governs maritime pollution, are core pillars of the operations of the global maritime industry. With the drive towards decarbonization and an emphasis on the need to reduce greenhouse gas emissions to combat the threat posed by climate change, there are a plethora of new rules and regulations owners need to be aware of when acquiring vessels. The landscape for maritime regulations, and by extension the standards, is becoming more and more stringent, with resultant impact on design and operations of both new and existing vessels. And insurance companies of ships globally have signed up to the Poseidon Principles, which is a global framework for integrating climate consideration into lending decisions to promote international shipping decarbonization. The principles are consistent with the policies and ambitions of IMO to reach net zero emission in the maritime industry by 2050, compared to 2008 levels. Currently, 34 financial institutions are signatories to the Poseidon Principles, representing a bank loan portfolio of global shipping of 80% of the global shipping finance portfolio. Signatories commit to implementing the Poseidon Principle in their internal processes, policies, and standards, and to work in partnership with their clients and partners on an ongoing basis to implement. It is therefore incumbent that Nigerian ship owners do understand how the drive towards decarbonization and net zero objectives exact a huge impact on ship finance and insurance in the maritime industry. The need to have fully compliant vessels trading internationally is of paramount importance, and all stakeholders must understand the ever-changing dynamics to ensure compliance right from the point of design, from the point of conceptualizing, designing and conceptualizing the acquisition and the construction of the vessels. Shipping is a hugely capital-intensive activity, and accessing finance is key for acquisition and construction. To that end, owners and prospective players need to ensure a proper understanding of the dynamics that lead to success in the constantly evolving maritime sector and ensure compliance at all costs, as there are no shortcuts to compliance. The strict compliance with standards will ensure that ships are not only built and operated to the highest quality and safety standards, but are also able to trade locally and internationally. The role of technical competence and expertise cannot be overstated in shipping acquisition and construction. The complexity of modern vessels, with the raft of advanced technological features, demand a high level of skill and knowledge right from design and acquisition phase up to their operation. Augmented reality, artificial intelligence, autonomous operations, and big data are becoming part of maritime operations. Traditionally, maritime education and training institutes cater for the requirement of the STCW regulations when developing curriculum. Focusing on the delivery of IMO model courses, the STCW Convention and Code, as amended, set out the current international benchmarks for training and education of seafarers. The 2010 Manila amendments to the STCW Convention and Code marked a major revision aimed at bringing the convention and code up to date. Traditional curriculum designed, influenced by technological integration, needs to reflect and be inspired by the ongoing innovation in the industry. The use of simulators in maritime education and training, for instance, has been an essential component of developing seafarer skills and competencies for decades. Imagine immersive technologies such as virtual reality, augmented reality, create new and exciting possibilities for maritime training to upskill the maritime practitioners in the industry. There must be a conscious effort to ensure that personnel saddled with handling multi-million-dollar assets are adequately trained and upskilled to properly operate and manage these assets. For us in NSML, we have been at the vanguard of driving compliance with standards and the regular training and development of our personnel to future-proof them in an ever-dynamic maritime industry. We are unwavering in our operations of ensuring that the vessels of our clients are maintained and operated to the highest standard globally, ensuring they're seaworthy, cargo-worthy, and globally tradable. By so doing, we ensure that owners enjoy a good return on investment, which is important to ensure the repayment of their loans and financing. Well, we have also recently supervised the construction of new build vessels on behalf of clients in South Korea. These are vessels that were designed, conceptualized, and supervised by our Maritime Center of Excellence. Our seafarers are competent, well-trained, and possess international certifications required to operate these vessels in line with operational standards and protocols. The Maritime Center of Excellence is also pivotal to the provision of the requisite training programs for the development of our people. The center is well equipped to the highest possible standards with advanced simulators to deliver maritime courses required for career progression in the industry. Additionally, the center is open to organizations and private individuals requiring the requisite training to operate competently in the maritime sector. The MCOE recently got UK MCA accreditation for 2 of its courses, the STCW 2010 Electronic Chart Data Display, as well as the basic liquefied gas tanker operations course. This is a testament to our unrelenting effort to change the necessary dynamics of the development of the Nigerian maritime industry. So, the essence of my paper or my speech today is really emphasizing on the need to combine both the financial aspect of ship acquisition with the technical competence and standards required for those ships to be relevant not just today, but relevant in the future as we go along. And I have highlighted the foundational importance of finance and insurance in the global maritime industry. This must be predicated on an adherence to standards, as well as the development of skilled and competent professionals. An integrated approach comprising of finance, standards, and competence will create a robust framework capable of ensuring success in our shipping, acquisition, and new build. By adopting a holistic approach that goes beyond financing, we set ourselves